Intrauterine cannibalism, also known as adelphophagy, is a fascinating and extreme reproductive strategy observed in certain shark species, most notably the sand tiger shark, Carcharias taurus. This behavior involves developing embryos consuming their siblings or unfertilized eggs within the mother's uterus to secure nutrients and increase their chances of survival. Below, I'll provide a detailed explanation of how this process works, focusing on the sand tiger shark, while also touching on other species and the broader biological context. What is intrauterine cannibalism? Intrauterine cannibalism is a form of viviparity or live birth where shark embryos engage in a competitive struggle for survival inside the mother's uterus. Unlike most animals, where sibling competition occurs after birth or hatching, in species like the sand tiger shark, this competition happens in utero. The strongest or most developed embryos consume their siblings or other available nutrients, like unfertilized eggs, to fuel their growth, ensuring that only the fittest survive to birth. This reproductive strategy is rare, but has evolved in certain shark species to maximize the survival of offspring in environments where resources are scarce, and producing fewer, stronger young is advantageous. How it works in sand tiger sharks. The reproductive process of sand tiger sharks provides a clear example of intrauterine cannibalism. Here's a step-by-step breakdown. Ovulation and fertilization. Sand tiger sharks are ovoviviparous, meaning they produce eggs that hatch inside the mother's body, and the embryos develop without a placental connection. The female has 2 uteri, each capable of housing multiple embryos. During mating, the female may mate with multiple males, leading to multiple fertilized eggs in each uterus. Initially, the mother produces a large number of eggs, but only a small fraction will survive to birth. Embryo development and competition. Once the eggs hatch inside the uterus, the embryos begin to develop. At this stage, they rely on the yolk sac for nourishment, as is typical in ovoviviparous species. However, in sand tiger sharks, the yolk sac is depleted relatively early. To continue growing, the most developed or aggressive embryo in each uterus begins to consume its siblings. The dominant embryo, often the first to hatch or the largest, uses its developing teeth to attack and eat other embryos in the same uterus. This process is known as adelphophagy, from Greek meaning brother eating. Outcome? Typically, only 1 embryo per uterus survives, resulting in a maximum of 2 pups per pregnancy, 1 from each uterus. These surviving pups are large, well-developed, and better equipped to survive in the wild. At birth, sand tiger shark pups are typically around 1 meter, 3.3 feet long, making them relatively large compared to other shark species' newborns. This size advantage reduces predation risk and increases their chances of survival. Nutritional support, and in addition to consuming siblings, the mother may provide unfertilized eggs, known as oophagy, or egg eating, to nourish the developing embryos. While oophagy is distinct from adelphophagy, it complements intrauterine cannibalism in some species by providing additional nutrients. In sand tiger sharks, the primary mechanism is adelphophagy, but oophagy may also occur if unfertilized eggs are present. Biological and evolutionary context. Intrauterine cannibalism is an extreme adaptation that reflects the trade-off between quantity and quality of offspring. Here's why it has evolved in species like the sand tiger shark. Resource allocation. Producing fewer, larger, and more developed offspring increases their likelihood of survival in a competitive marine environment. By sacrificing many embryos, the mother ensures that the surviving pups are robust and capable of fending for themselves immediately after birth. Sand tiger sharks inhabit coastal waters where predation pressure on juveniles is high. Larger pups are less vulnerable to predators, giving them a significant survival advantage. Energy efficiency. For the mother, Investing energy in producing one or two strong pups is more efficient than producing many smaller, less viable ones. Intrauterine cannibalism ensures that only the fittest embryos survive, optimizing the mother's reproductive investment. Genetic selection. The competitive nature of intrauterine cannibalism acts as a form of natural selection within the womb. The strongest or most aggressive embryos are more likely to survive, passing on traits that enhance fitness. Other shark species with intrauterine cannibalism. While the sand tiger shark is the most well-known example, intrauterine cannibalism or related behaviors like oophagy occur in other shark species, including lamniform sharks. Many sharks in the order lamniforms, such as the great white shark, Carcharodon carcharius, porbeagle, Lamna nasus, and mako sharks, Isurus spp, exhibit oophagy, where embryos consume unfertilized eggs provided by the mother. In some cases, such as the porbeagle, there is evidence of limited adelphophagy, though it is less pronounced than in sand tiger sharks. Other examples: the shortfin mako, Isurus oxyrhynchus, and thresher sharks, Alopias spb, also rely on oophagy to nourish developing embryos. But true sibling cannibalism, adelphophagy, is less common outside of sand tiger sharks. Ecological and conservation implications. Intrauterine cannibalism has significant implications for the population dynamics of sand tiger sharks and similar species. Low reproductive output. Because sand tiger sharks produce only 1 or 2 pups per reproductive cycle, which may occur every 2 to 3 years, their reproductive rate is low. This makes them particularly vulnerable to overfishing and habitat loss. Conservation efforts for sand tiger sharks focus on protecting pregnant females and their habitats, as each successful pregnancy is critical to population stability. Population recovery. The slow reproductive rate resulting from intrauterine cannibalism means that sand tiger shark populations recover slowly from declines. This has led to their classification as vulnerable by the International Union for Conservation of Nature, IUCN. Interesting facts and observations. Behavioral advantage. The surviving pups are not only large, but also exhibit advanced predatory behaviors at birth, as they have already practiced hunting by consuming their siblings. Sexual segregation, pregnant sand tiger. Females often segregate from males and non-pregnant females, possibly to protect their developing pups or reduce stress during gestation. Fossil evidence. Intrauterine cannibalism may have ancient origins. Fossilized remains of some extinct shark species show evidence of large, well-developed embryos, suggesting similar reproductive strategies millions of years ago. Conclusion. Intrauterine cannibalism in sand tiger sharks is a remarkable example of nature's complex balance between survival and sacrifice. By allowing the strongest embryos to consume their siblings, this reproductive strategy ensures that only the fittest pups are born, equipped to thrive in challenging marine environments. While this process may seem brutal, it reflects an evolutionary adaptation that prioritizes quality over quantity, giving species like the sand tiger shark a competitive edge in the wild. However, the low reproductive output associated with this strategy underscores the importance of conservation efforts to protect these vulnerable species.